Good morning, Saints. It's Friday and the first day for at least Fayetteville Shelter in Place, so it's a good thing that we can do daily devotions together over the internet. And that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to do a Friday devotion with you out of Mark chapter 15, verses 1 through 5. Now, this has captured my attention because Pilate is absolutely surprised that Jesus does not refute or respond in any way to any of the allegations, the accusations that are being hurled at him in his presence. This isn't normal behavior for human beings. And I want us to think about that just a little bit. Most of us eagerly refute charges that are brought against us, even if they're mainly true. We look for some kind of loophole out of which we might build a case for ourselves. And I wonder if you've ever thought about this. I wonder why it is that we do this. I think the answer is self-vindication. I think it comes out of the fact that we are born in brokenness and guilt and shame. And even though we are born into that condition through salvation and the Holy Spirit's sanctifying process, He is bringing us out of that particular position. But let's get back to Jesus. Jesus didn't respond in any way to the allegations hurled at him by the council. He didn't when he was before the council, and now before Pilate, he is still making no response, no rolling of eyes, no sour tone, no any kind of indication that these things are not true. Why do you think he was doing that? I think because the fact of the matter is they are false. That's it. There's nothing true about them. He has no need to respond to them. But he does answer Pilate's one question, are you the king of the Jews? And I think that we should understand perhaps why he did that. I believe he did it for a couple of reasons. Number one, Pilate is sincerely interested in knowing the answer. In other words, you might say that Pilate is seeking the truth. What he does with the truth is unclear, and I think we know eventually that he will dismiss the truth. But nevertheless, he's asking with sincerity, and Jesus will never deny his identity as God's Son or as God in the flesh, especially at the end of his ministry of reconciliation. Now, you remember that Jesus a couple of times is challenged at the beginning of his ministry, and he says after some miracles, do not tell anybody about this, because he's got 3 years of ministry to accomplish before he ends up in front of a trial, or before he would ride in on a donkey as King of the Jews. So he's got to protect his time in the beginning, but at the end, and we are right at the end, there's no point anymore. And so he answers very plainly. I want us to think about why we answer questions. Sometimes we answer because we want to share our opinion, and because we perhaps think too highly of our own opinion. We want to share information sometimes, but other times we just want to prove our knowledge or our intelligence. And I'm not sure that any of those are positive responses or positive reasons for answering questions. So let's let the Spirit challenge us in that regard. And remember that Jesus wasn't concerned about making himself look good to the world. He came to testify to the truth. And I wonder if we will also testify to the truth. I've got one last thing, and that is that Jesus' response to the question, are you the King of the Jews, is, I am. And we need to capitalize on that response as identifying it in the Old Testament with God, who appeared to Abraham and answered the same question the same way, I am. I've got this little poem that I guess it's not so much a poem as a saying, but anyway, and I'm not sure who the author is, but listen to this, will you? I was regretting the past and fearing the future. Suddenly, my Lord was speaking to me. My name is I am. He paused. I waited. He continued. When you live in the past with its mistakes and regrets, it's hard. I'm not there. My name is not I was. When you live in the future with its problems and fears, it's hard. I'm not there. My name is not I will be. But when you live in this moment, it is not hard. I am here. My name is I am. Walk with the Lord today and be blessed.